Welcome to Hoyt's Bowhunting Whitetails. Today is December 1st and it marks the end of the early bow season here in Iowa, and we've just said goodbye to our favorite month of the year. So in honor of those two events, I've got to come up with a good spot to hunt. We got to try to go out with a bang here. Carson, he's my good luck charm. He's back there in the shed getting ready. He's going to film this one. Ethan had to go off and do some business of some kind. We're going to go to the grass field. It's at the very, what I would say, northwest end of the range of these two bucks that I'm hunting. They have shown up there in the past on the camera. I don't have a camera there anymore, but when I did, they were on there occasionally. It's just going to be nice to be back in a tree stand. Look at some new country. I'm just sick of looking out the window at that food plot and then no deer ever come into it. So we're going to try something different. We're going to end the early bow season in a real pretty spot. Wind is out of the northeast. It's kind of raw. Today's not cold by any means, probably in the mid 30s, but it just kind of feels cold with that wet northeast wind. I'm looking forward to going back to the spot. We've hunted there twice, and each time I sit there, I always feel like this is going to be the place where I shoot one. Not yet, but maybe tonight. Also, I want to talk, I will talk a little bit more in this episode once we get up in the tree about why I'm not hunting deeper in the timber. You know, I've had a lot of comments on the videos, and I've talked about a little bit about it myself, the fact that I think there's more activity back in the cover. I think the deer eating acorns are not coming out in the open much. So how come I'm not going in after them? You know, that's the big question. And I'll answer that tonight when we get to the tree. Hoyt's Bowhunting Whitetails is brought to you by Redneck Blinds, Code of Silence Apparel, Hunt Stand Pro Whitetail, Fuse Accessories, Elevate Tree Stands, B3 Releases and Broadheads, and Hoyt. I want to talk for just a minute about why I'm not hunting back in the timber now. I've been saying that these deer are eating acorns and they're not coming out to the food plots. So how come I'm not going in after them? That's the big question. Probably not a real simple answer, but I'll make it as quick as I can. First off, I don't know exactly where these bucks are bedded. I know they're on this ridge. It's about a half a mile long, and they bed in various spots at different times. I don't have them pegged. So for me to go into a bedding area after one of these bucks in the hopes that I've picked the right one would be pretty low odds. So I feel more comfortable letting them come out and finding me rather than me going in and trying to find them. Plus, you go to the next level, it's like there's oak trees everywhere. So where really are they feeding? It could be any place. This whole timber is just loaded with oak trees. So again, they're spread out, potentially feeding just about any place they please. And then the third reason, I don't really want to bump these deer from the places where they bed. You know, you can bump them where they feed, and they'll just either start going nocturnal toward those places, or they'll just feed someplace else, but they won't leave. But if you start bumping them from where they bed, then you run the risk of running them right off the farm. So I would rather be a little bit more patient and wait on the fringe and hope to catch them coming out rather than going in after them. Hopefully that makes some sense. I tend to be very conservative. You're gonna You're going to figure that out over time. If I only had a couple of days to hunt, I would hunt a lot differently. I'd hunt more aggressively. But once this firearm season is over and I can go back to bow hunting, these food plots that I've got should be way more active. Hopefully by then, a lot of the acorns are mopped up, maybe a little bit of snow on the ground, maybe a little colder. These deer are going to be going to the food really aggressively, and I've got lots of that. So the biggest mistake I can make right now is to put too much pressure on and run them off. Patience is definitely going to be a virtue. Maybe I don't get one right away, but hopefully over the long haul, I'll have some good encounters here before the season is over. Just be careful. Don't try to go to her, let her come to you. I knew it. I knew she'd smell us. Got 30 minutes left. We just had a doe sneak in behind us. She got really close, probably 15 yards away before we knew that she was even there. That's been it for action. I don't think Carson was able to get any footage. I think that we got pinned, just trying to move, get into position. It's tough when you got to swing the camera, and so she spotted us. Then she froze, and then, you know what happens then. They always get away. But if they're going to come out, this is the time. This last half hour. So I'm going to keep my eyes peeled, and if we see anything else, we'll definitely add it onto the video here, but otherwise, this is kind of like saying goodbye for a little while. I'm going to try to hunt in Nebraska here in the next week or so. I've got an invite there, but otherwise I'm done bow hunting until the end of the firearm season. I'll keep putting out some kind of content, to keep the channel going. But unfortunately, it's going to be a while before we're back in the tree on this farm. Well, I appreciate you joining me, and we'll see you right back here. I guess it's going to be a few days. Monday, we'll produce an episode, and then hopefully shortly after that, something from Nebraska. So, I'll start that over again. So I appreciate you joining me. We'll see you right back here again soon for the next episode of Hoyt's Bowhunting Whitetails. Remember to always dream big.